Another one bites the dust.
Down out.
Another one bites the dust.
Down out.
Dum, dum,
And another
dum.
one. And another one.
Cause I love, yeah, yeah. Cause I love, yeah, yeah.
Think about cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders? What do we think about cheerleaders?
I wish I could be one.
I think they do cool stuff.
I liked their little tiny mini skirts, not gonna lie. When I was growing up, I wanted to be that girl so bad.
Is that modest?
No.
No, because I did lacrosse growing up and I was so mad because our uniform were like these baggy boy shorts and every other town's uniform were these like skimpy little skirts. And I was like, to be those girls. That's some Lily lore though.
We don't have drinks today.
Pretend.
No,
need
that's
to-
not good. No, that's
no,
not
you gotta
good.
pretend. You gotta pretend. I have like a
clink and
peppermint
drink.
mocha
No.
hot chocolate
Oh,
Wait,
you're
what's your
making
favorite
me want
drink?
that.
marshmallows.
Get out. We need a drink.
Did you just tell her to get out?
Yeah, after I told her to shut up.
Nobody cares. She told me to shut up. Everybody just cares that I told her to get up. There's the door. Yeah.
I'm also going to make a
Yeah.
compilation of her saying, there's the door.
I don't say it that much. Oh, okay.
That's like probably the third time. It's
Anyway.
good. It's good. It's funny. I like it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so what are you drinking today, Elizabeth?
I have no creativity at the moment. Ask me.
What are you drinking today?
I've never had a caramel latte. Buddy, shut up. I have a really good idea. Don't you tell me to shut up. I have a really good idea. Great. Wait, what caramel creamer? Coffee addiction. Why are we doing this? I had a really great. Ooh, I want lemonade.
Jess, what are you drinking?
Living water.
She thought she
She
ate.
wins. She wins.
Is that what you're drinking?
She gets all
or
the
is that-
Jesus points.
Jesus points? We get Jesus points?
We should have a Jesus points
Boom
scorecard.
diggity. His faith that works is dead.
Oh,
Wait.
true.
What are you drinking, Bella? Did you already go?
I didn't. No. I'm drinking iced tea.
What's
Classy.
that? You know that, like, what is the meme that's like, tall glass of water? Where's that from?
Tangled.
Oh, okay.
It's from
I
the
was trying-
little half-naked man who, like, was drunk and he went to Mother Gothel and he was like, I need a tall glass of water. And then she took out her knife. Tell me where that tunnel goes. Knife! I've watched that so many
I was trying to
times.
figure out where that
I love that movie.
I need
You know, I've watched that movie in Spanish to learn Spanish.
I
It didn't work.
Only you.
I know. I'm going to do it again. I just couldn't find
love
it.
Tangled. That's my favorite Disney princess. Me too.
Because that's Jordan, right? Jordan's Flynn Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jordan's Flinny boy.
All right. So, Lily, can you introduce?
What? What am I introducing?
Our podcast.
Who are we?
Oh, am I introducing our podcast? Welcome back to the Ladies of Liberty podcast, where we are anchored in truth and armed with grace.
That's right.
Yes! Is that right?
That's right.
Let's go.
Today we're talking about biblical womanhood. What it means to be a biblical woman.
I have a lot to say about this, guys.
Indubitably.
Mic drop.
Wait, okay, can I ask a question? I don't know any of the questions already, but I have a question. What do you find is the hardest part about living up to the biblical womanhood standards?
The accountability.
Oh.
Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say. Very fair to say.
I like the guilt. I'm like, I feel like I feel so guilty. And this is a good thing, actually. This is not a bad thing. But like just I guess there is some sort of like weight to it, you know? Like it's a constant everyday thought, I feel like, where it's like you have to live up to or try to live up to expectations. I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
No, I mean, think about a Proverbs 31 woman. It's pretty difficult to be
Yeah.
that because you're gonna fall short no matter what you do. We're all
Exactly,
human,
yeah.
so just
How
having
can you live up to perfection?
you can't.
That's a lot of what we're going to talk about today. We're training everybody how to be perfect.
Yes.
Be perfect. We believe in you.
I mean,
Just kidding. Only
guys.
Jesus. Gosh.
No.
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 Let me just say something, I guess. I find it difficult to be a biblical woman in the sense of I feel like I'm too much of a woman sometimes. Okay, wait.
No, keep going. You're good.
Okay, women are typically more emotional than men are. Men are typically more logical. I feel very deeply, and when I feel sad, I feel very sad, and when I feel happy, I feel very happy. And I just feel like sometimes I'm too much of a person, and so like when it comes to part of being a biblical woman, where it's like you can't necessarily let your emotions control your actions, that's where I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that's difficult though. So just like you're more logical and I really admire that. She
I feel like
is.
You guys both are more logical, right? Is that a not?
Not since being pregnant. I know logically. I'm like, okay, this is what I need to be doing. This is what I need to feel. Why do I feel complete like over here? And why am I crying my eyes out for no reason? It's like, oh, okay.
You're pregnant. You get a pass though. What about you, Bella?
Exactly.
What's your excuse?
Well,
oh, you're
No,
logical.
she's
not
logical.
emotional.
no, that's the thing is,
What's your excuse?
you're not one or the other. Like, I'm super emotional. Ask my dad, or I don't know.
But you're also
Other
really
people-
good at like not letting those.
Yeah,
that
you're good at
control you,
seeing
though.
through the cloud of
I
emotions.
don't make decisions based on my emotions.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
fairly
the
good
same.
at that, I think. But I definitely get very emotional. We all do. I don't know. It's part of life.
But it's not a problem to be emotional.
True.
Like it only becomes a problem when you let your emotions take over your actions and you can't see through them and you can't like, oh, I'm really mad right now, so I'm gonna lash out at everybody, or I'm really sad, so I'm just gonna bring everybody down with me so that they can feel the hurt that I
Yeah.
feel. That's where it's a problem. But feeling is totally okay.
Or if you're like being manipulative with your emotions, like whether you really notice it or not, often emotions can really like manipulate the people around you. If you're feeling really sad or whatever, it's like it does, like she was saying, it brings people down with you. And if you kind of like, often people can use them to get what they want, if that makes sense. Like, I know how to get to people, so I'm gonna be all emotional and I'll get what I want to get. It's kind of like kids. We're just like grown up kids. Well, that literally we are. We're grown up kids. But like when kids are little, it's like I can cry until I get what I want.
Until
And
you
it
learn
still happens as when you grow older, it just looks slightly different. We don't necessarily go, wee. I mean,
I do.
Well, I wasn't saying that necessarily for like that aspect, but it was more of just like when I get sad, it takes a lot to bring me back. And when I get really happy, it takes a lot to get me sad. Like,
That's a good thing, I guess.
but sometimes like in serious situations, like I won't lock in. I'll just be too happy. Like, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I just get prolonged in those emotions that when I need to be logical, I'm not. Sometimes.
I feel like being able to feel so much and so deeply with everything it's both a burden and a gift, because there are people who like are like, oh, I don't feel sad and I don't feel happy. I just kind of meh. And like if you don't go through the downs, you can't go through the ups. And the more down that you feel, the more you can appreciate the ups, you know? I mean, my dad just recently told me that. But just when you're able to feel so happy, like that's a gift that lots of people wish that they could feel. I would say. But it's also a burden, because when you're sad or when you like want to lock in, it's tricky. It's hard.
Yeah.
But, you know?
Which doesn't necessarily have to like directly do with what we're going to talk about today, but like,
Oh, yeah.
do you know like why I was getting at that? Like, it has to do with biblical womanhood in the manner of like, we have to be level-headed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And be strong enough to be able to control our emotions.
Yeah.
Self-control.
I did think of another one, actually, as you were talking. And oddly enough, I was talking to a friend about this the other day. And I said it, and she's like, what? That's crazy. But, like, something I struggle with is going to church every Sunday. Like, I don't know if that applies to what we're talking about. But, like, I feel like I have a really difficult time sometimes, like getting myself out of bed and like, we got to do this every week. Like, you go to church, it's the right thing to do. The Bible calls you to do it. And I said to my friend the other day, I was like, sometimes I really don't like it doing it or look forward to it. And she's like, oh, I look forward to church every week. That's crazy. And I was like, am I like doing something wrong? Is that wrong to like feel that way sometimes? I don't know.
Do you not often like get much out of church? Is it kind of a chore in some ways?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I would say for me, it certainly is. It's difficult for me to sit there for like an hour and listen to a sermon. Someone stand up there and talk. Sometimes it is very difficult for me.
Do you feel like filled every time you leave church?
Not
Or
every
is it
time.
harder to feel it sometimes when you're in church? Because I've experienced that.
It is hard for me to like leave church feeling filled.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just really hard for me to listen to whatever they're saying,
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'm not in the mindset where I can sit down and just listen to somebody talk for over an hour. And so sometimes I find it difficult. And I was so surprised to hear that, like, not everybody thinks that,
I had a long time where I just couldn't listen to the pastor. Like, I couldn't do anything. I was so distracted. Like, the only thing I could, like, I would either be really tired, falling asleep, or I just couldn't listen and pay attention, or I'd be completely in a different place in my head. And so what I started doing was I started taking notes just so that it could be like, okay, I'm following along. I'm trying to like write down things that are like matter and important to me. And it helped me to pay attention more. So, because that's just the way that I learn best, is by just writing things down and by trying to hold myself accountable to listening, or giving myself a purpose to listen. So you could always try that. I don't know if you're a writing down notes thing person.
You know what? I think that probably does sound like something that might work for me because I'm a hands-on type of person.
Me too.
So
Yeah.
that might make it easier.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
And I think you are the last one to answer the question, right?
Yes. I didn't think about an answer yet. Let's see. What do I find is very difficult? Honestly, not living in the world, because I see it and being like having a not fleshly desire, but just living like I'm seeing the world. It's like exciting and whatever, and it's like, oh, I want to wear something that makes me look good, or I want to do these things, or I want to flirt with people. Like, it's no, because biblical womanhood is being faithful and loyal, being modest, and like continuing to walk in God's ways. And there will be times where I'm just like, I really just wish that I could do this because it would be easier. Because it's way easier to just go with whatever the world's doing.
Yeah.
But it's so fruitless and emptying. And so just sticking to it, it's not a challenge. Well, it is a challenge, but it's not like something that's impossible for me to do. It's just every once in a while I'll find myself thinking like, man, I wish I could do what the world's doing, and be like, no, you don't want to do what the world's doing. They're all empty. They're looking for what you have. Go give it to them. Go show them what it means to be real, like a biblical woman. So I think that would be that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Being like gentle and kind with my words, because I can be so straightforward. I think part of being a biblical woman is being kind and gentle and loving with how you speak to people. And I definitely can do that sometimes, but I find it hard to do that all the time, because I can be so blunt, too blunt, sometimes rude. It could be said. So today we're going to read in Proverbs 31, because I think if you hear the words biblical womanhood, most people would think of this scripture. There's also another scripture actually I want to read, which is Titus 2, 3 through 5. So I might start. Let's start with that.
Titus 2, 3 through 5.
Titus 2, 3 through 5.
Titus is one of my favorite books. I love reading
Titus
through
is
it.
so
I'm going
good.
to have a kid named Titus one day.
You are? I love that
That's a
name.
good name.
Does Kyle agree?
No, but Kyle doesn't have to agree.
Oh,
Kyle, if you're watching, I want 3 boys: Ezra, Titus, and Jasper. Jasper comes first. I will compromise. Jasper can be for a girl if it has to be. Preferably all boys. if you're my future kids, don't watch this video.
If you have daughters, if you're my future daughters, don't
I love
watch.
you.
That's so funny to think that our future kids could be watching this at some point. Wow, Mom, you actually looked like that? Wow, you're so young and pretty. Not that you're not now. That's what I've said that. No, was it me or was it my sister? I don't know. But it was that thing of like we saw our mom when she was married. Like we saw the wedding picture. Like, wow, you were so young and skinny. She was also pregnant with me at the time, but it's fine.
All right, so do you want to read?
What?
Where are we?
Sure,
Is it
Titus what?
Titus 2.
Titus 2, 3 through 5.
Sure, you asked me or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm a second grade teacher. I can do this. Okay. Older women, likewise, are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers or slaves to much wine. They are to teach what is good, and so train the young women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, and submissive to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be reviled. Likewise, urge the younger men to be self-controlled. Did you tell me to read that one? Probably
That
not.
was good. Yeah, so it's talking about older women and then younger women because as an older woman, part of that character is to be teaching the younger women. And so as we grow up, we can disciple those younger than us anytime, but as we grow, we are to be teaching, and even our future daughters and younger women around us. For those of us that are going to have future daughters,
Everyone's future. daughters. For everyone's, you might have nieces or nephews. You definitely have.
Right,
You have
and
nieces and
I
nephews.
do have nieces.
and if we have daughters, then you can be a good example and teach our daughters.
That's right.
This is true.
Everyone younger than you. You are older than every girl that's younger than you. You have a part in teaching them and training them.
Being an example.
Right.
Spitting facts.
Maybe
Spitting
not.
straight
Maybe not
fire.
1-year-olds, but again, being an example because they see everything you do.
Oh my gosh, little kids remember and are so much more like logical than I thought they were.
Yeah.
And, no, like it's actually insane. I babysit my little cousin and she's 6. And when I tell you, she'll remember the smallest little thing that I will have said a month ago. And I'm like, I said that to you in passing. How do you remember that? You're 6 years old. Hi, Nia, if you're watching this. Love you. Anyway, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I genuinely, I'm like, you're 6 years old. I don't remember things that happened a month ago.
Yeah. Which is why, like, a lot of times when it comes to learning, that's all the learning is supposed to really happen young because that's when your brain is
You remember it all,
craving it.
They really have
and then summer
memories
happens.
as strong as elephants. My husband told my little brother that he would take him to Six Flags literally years ago. And then he saw him for the first time like a month ago. And the first thing he says, Kyle, when you taking me to Six Flags? I heard you went. Like, you didn't take me. And it's like, oh, now we got it. Next week, Tristan, we're
You're
taking
gonna
you
do
to
it?
Six Flags. Yes.
Awesome. That's so fun.
We are men
love
of
Six
our
Flags.
words.
You're a man of your word.
Do it.
She's a woman, I promise. That's why she's on this podcast.
All right. Reading Titus chapter 2, verses 3 through 5. Older women, likewise, are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers or slaves to much wine. They are to teach what is good, and so train the young women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, and submissive to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be reviled. What does purity mean to you?
I think to me, purity is fully based off of what actually is in your heart. So like, nothing looks wise, but like you have to be pure of mind. Like, not having
Keeping
a dirty
your
mind.
thoughts
Pure intentions.
Pure
Your intentions,
Yeah,
not
like, oh,
lusting.
Right. I'm going to do this because I want to help this person. Not I'm going to do this so that everybody sees how awesome I am. Like that's
Selflessness.
Assuming the best, question mark?
What?
assuming the best. I would
Giving
say
people the benefit of the
yes.
doubt,
I would say that
I would say so.
is pure.
Yes, but also not in a overly trusting way.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Make proper, wise judgments.
Like if you
What
see
did
a
Mr.
thug.
Mealy tell me? Prepare for the worst, assume the best, or something like that.
No.
Yeah.
Isn't it hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and expect something in between?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Another thing about biblical womanhood, caring less about what we look like and caring more about how we act. Because charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised.
That one is hard for me as well because like I feel like I grew up in a household where I was raised to care a lot about my appearance. Like I got highlights when I was 13 in my hair and like I got makeup and I wanted all that stuff, but like I feel like it was ingrained in me from such a young age that like you should want to be beautiful and try your best to like look the best all the time. And now I feel like it's pretty negatively affected me as I got older because now I think about it more than I should.
I think putting that on a young child is definitely going to shape their understanding of it in a wrong way. But in general, being a biblical woman doesn't mean to not care about what you look like. It just means yes, present yourself well.
I guess don't be vain.
But
Right.
it's about
that's
if it becomes an idol. If
Yeah.
you're making sure everything about you looks perfect before you go out of the house, if that becomes an idol, then you're putting that above God, and that's not.
That's so funny that you grew up in that house because I grew up with the complete opposite. My mom did not care didn't care
Really?
at all.
See, I don't think my mom actually overdid it. She was strict about makeup. Like I had to reach a certain age before I was allowed. Like I had to be 16 before I could have mascara. I had to be 15 before I could have blush. And that's like, especially nowadays, that's old. Like I feel like girls who are 10, 9 are like going into Ulta, loading up baskets or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think I was raised incorrectly, but I definitely was raised to care about how I looked, and I was raised to make sure that I looked presentable and beautiful all the time, I guess. And so I feel like that has translated into my later years.
So can we go back to Titus?
The older women are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers or slaves to much wine.
Okay, so we're not slandering, which is that's hard for a lot of women to keep their mouths shut about people.
Like gossip.
What is the limit though between this is something that I've actually always struggled with because there's a line between gossiping but also going to get advice from a friend. And what is the line? Because if I had a problem with somebody and it was a big deal, when would it be okay to go to someone and just put it all out on the table and be like, what do I do without it being gossiping?
It depends on where you're coming from, what's your heart, why. Check yourself and make sure I'm purely going to this person and talking about this because I need good advice, good sound advice to know how to move forward. And then also it's about who you're going to, if you're going to a non-Christian friend or going to somebody who maybe is just even more than you, tends toward a gossip kind of person, then maybe don't go to them. Go to somebody who understands that you're looking for advice and is willing to give you good advice and not who's going to take the story you just told and keep passing it down the line. So
I think if you're just going for advice, I would agree with her. I would be maybe bold to say I don't think that would be gossip if you're going for advice, depending on who you go to.
Right.
But yeah, I think that it becomes gossip when you are talking negatively about someone else just to tell the story or just to rant and ramble and be like, can you believe what this person did? They did this, this, and this. How terrible is that? And just talking bad about that person. I would say that's an obvious form of gossip, but when you're going and talking about another person in a negative light just for the sake of telling a story or for talking about them so that you can get other people to side with you, that I would consider as gossip.
Yeah, I guess it really does depend a lot on how you're telling the story.
I think it also depends on if this story is about my friend Cheryl. If it's about Cheryl, but Cheryl and Betty are friends, but you go to Betty to talk about Cheryl, it's putting Betty it's getting Betty involved in something that maybe she shouldn't have been involved in because she's also friends with Cheryl. Right. So it's maybe go to somebody who has never met Cheryl ever and talk about your issue with them.
Yeah.
Rather than a friend of Cheryl.
I would say too, like, I feel like I don't know why in my head men have like one major like downfall, and I think it's lust, and for women I think it's gossip.
Yep.
For sure.
And
agree with you completely.
in my head, I mean, like, I do it too, so I'm not judging anybody, but like when I think about giving an excuse to ask for counsel, like obviously I do that too, but at some point in my head, I feel like for me, I have to draw a sharp line, because then sometimes I can give myself the excuse, oh, I'm asking for their help. I'm not doing that internally. Internally, I just want to talk about what's going on and I want to get it off my chest. And sure, I'll listen to your advice, and I'll in my head, I'll convince myself that I'm just asking for their advice, but that's not what I'm doing. And so I think for me, I have to draw a hard line, and which is really hard because I'll give myself that excuse and I don't want to. So I don't know. I think I haven't been doing it perfectly well, but I've been trying to do something as of lately, and I mean very recently, where it's like I talk to my husband, I talk to Jesus, I'll talk to my mentor if it gets that bad, but like unless it's just filling someone in on information they need to know, like keeping the details and the things that are more tailored to my side of the story just really out of the conversation.
Yeah, I feel like it never really gets bigger than, at least for me, than having to just talk to my husband about it, because that's my other half. That's where I get my advice from. And like if it ever did get bigger than that, I would hope I would go to like a mentor or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Reverence. A deep like awe and respect and honor and fear of God. What do you think it looks like for a woman to have reverent behavior?
God honoring.
Probably to not be content in like in the sense that I feel like when you get comfortable, things start getting a little bit. I find that when I'm comfortable, sometimes I'm farther from the Lord.
Absolutely.
So sometimes I think that when I have the fear of the Lord and I'm very in awe of Him, I'm very aware of what I'm doing, what I'm saying, how I'm acting, how I'm behaving, that I want to be the most selfless, loving, gentle woman. And sometimes I feel like when I get too comfortable and I get too content in like how I'm acting or how I'm behaving or how life is, I'll forget about that and I'll just be like, yeah, whatever, I am who I am. That's not really an excuse.
Yeah, I would say that reverent behavior is living life just with the fear of God. And what does that mean? It's like understanding that God is all power. Wow. That God is all powerful and is sovereign and is in control of everything. And so I don't need to worry and I don't need to try and control things. I live my life with open hands because what I have is God's. And whatever happens in my life, He's got a plan for it. So it's like understanding the power that He holds, being so in awe of His goodness, and loving Him so much that my behavior reflects that. Older women likewise are to be reverent in behavior, meaning the fear of the Lord leads our life and our life actions. How we live and how we behave stems from our respect and honor for God, because we want to please Him, because we love Him, because He loves us. And then as older women, they teach the younger women what is good and train them to love their husbands and their children, being nurturing and kind and loving to the people around us and our families, being self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind and submissive to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be reviled. Self-controlled, that goes into so many things. Like we were talking, being self-control, we can control our emotions. We can control the ways we gossip. We can control our anger outbursts. Because the only thing in life that we can control is ourselves and how we react to circumstances.
Well, self-control is just a huge thing. Like, everybody, I think, struggles with self-control because if you struggle with sin, you struggle with self-control. So when you have thoughts that you shouldn't have, like whether you're judging somebody or you're thinking about somebody you shouldn't be or like, I don't know, something you shouldn't be thinking about, or in a way that you shouldn't be thinking, maybe self-doubt or like thinking, oh, I'm not enough for God, or oh, I'm not enough for this person. Just when you're having bad thoughts, basically, that you shouldn't be thinking, it can show in your actions. And being self-controlled to control not only your actions, but to notice when your thoughts are leading you astray, to take them captive. And I don't mean take them captive as in don't let yourself think that at all, because you're going to think things before you even know you're thinking them and go, ah, man, why did I just do that? But not letting it continue. And I think that that's something that I've had to learn and struggle with a lot is I have thoughts that I wish I never had, usually bad about myself, and just not letting it continue. Stopping it, saying, Elizabeth, no, you are made in God's image. This is not okay. Like, speak to yourself the way that God would speak to you. Like, this is not helpful.
Okay, shall we read Proverbs 31?
An excellent wife who can find? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant. She brings her food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens.
She considers a field and she buys it. Out of her earnings she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy.
She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchant. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come.
She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hand, and let her works praise her in the gates.
So that covers a lot. Did anything stand out? Did any specific verse jump out to any of you?
She does not eat the bread of idleness. I thought that was funny.
You thought it was funny, not...
Don't be lazy. It's very easy to be lazy.
Yes.
I like strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. Just be like, she's not worried about what her actual clothing are, other than she's just for the weather and for the job at hand, but strength and dignity are what she values and what is valued in her. Like, I would love it if somebody were to look at me or look at us or whatever, and instead of seeing, oh, you know, they're really pretty, saying like, wow, they are clothed with strength and dignity. Like, they have just these amazing qualities. Like, that's what I want people to notice rather than what I look like on the outside.
Yeah, what a compliment that would be.
I know. Yeah.
And the second part of that verse you read is that she laughs at the time to come because she has such confidence and trust in the Lord that it's not in her hands, it's in God's hands. And, I mean, we all go through really hard times, and hard times are bound to come for us. But instead of worrying and sitting and being anxious about whatever situation, she literally laughs at it. She's like, I don't care because it's in God's hands. and I'm not gonna waste my time being downhearted about something that's not even in my control.
I struggle with that one.
We all do.
It's a hard thing. Well, it also, you can take it from the perspective of she's prepared. She's very well prepared. Like, yes, of course she trusts God and she knows, like, okay, whatever happens, it's in God's hands, absolutely. But also she's so prepared that she's like, I mean, if all goes according to plan, everything will be okay.
You were just talking about her being prepared. That is, I believe, what verse 18 is talking about. Specifically, the second part, it says, she perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. And I think it sounds like, oh, she doesn't sleep. Her lamp doesn't go out at night.
It says she rises while it is yet night. So she wakes up really early. She goes to bed really late. Crazy.
Well, not necessarily. She can sleep. What I take from that is that, or what I was learning about her lamp does not go out at night is more specifically saying that she's always ready. Like she has her lamp ready to, if she needs to get up, if she needs to serve somebody, if she needs to, if Jesus is coming back, she's ready. Like because there's the scripture talking about like, always be ready because we never know the time that Jesus will come back for us. So she's ready and she's prepared, and her light is always ready to serve and obey the Lord. And also, she knows where the true light comes from because even in the night, she has her light shining. So I feel like there's a lot of different like analogies that could be of what it means.
I also really love the verse 17 where it says she sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. I like that one because I feel like a lot of people who aren't Christian and don't know the Bible see the whole woman being submissive as a very passive role, a very weak role, and very like, I wouldn't say lazy, but just like, oh, just stay at home and look pretty and, you know, play with kids or whatever. But it's not that. It's hard work. And if you're a stay-at-home mom, you're raising up the next generation. And that's probably one of the most important jobs out there. And so I think just looking at a biblical woman's task of, you know, being a homemaker and loving her husband it can be hard. Like things like that, a woman should be seen still as strong, even if, you know, she's in a softer role.
Right.
What do you guys think the verse that says, for all her household are clothed in scarlet?
Which verse is that?
That's 21.
I think that's, if I'm correct, it's like expensive. Is it expensive clothes or is it like
Well, they
valued?
22 follows up by saying she makes her bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. And I know back in the day, purple was like the royal color.
Royal.
So I guess that's what
So-
it means.
It has a little like footnote by the word scarlet, and it says a meaning for it is or in double thickness, so warm. Because the sentence before that is she's not afraid of the snow for her household because she has she's prepared. She had her family is all prepared with things to keep them warm, so she doesn't fear.
Something that I wanted to add about the submissive thing. Being submissive does not mean just totally being like, oh, okay, like, yes, dear, whatever you want. But it's you still have a say. You still have a voice. Like, you are, like, I don't know, the husband will trust you. He goes to you for counsel. He goes to you because he values what you have to say. If you're in a healthy marriage, if your husband needs advice or you think, hey, maybe he could hear this, don't be afraid to like say, okay, well, this is what I think. And if at the end of the day he says, this is my decision that we're going to make, let it be. Like, that's awesome. That's great.
Just big decisions should always be a conversation, and you guys should always feel good about the conversation at the end of it. It is not husband makes all decisions whenever he wants. You know, that's not how a marriage works. And I feel like that is what people sometimes think when they hear the word submission, and it's just not very accurate.
Well, also, the Bible's talking about submitting to a godly man. If you're not submitting to a godly man, he's going to lead you into sin. And obviously, you are first submitted to God.
Right.
So if your husband is asking you to sin, you are not to submit to him, you are to submit to God, who has the ultimate authority.
Yeah.
So submitting to someone who is submitted to God is a more,
Yeah.
accurate biblical interpretation, which is often also left out when, people
Yeah.
like to
'Cause
hate
God
on
needs to be
those
first.
verses. But
I think a huge part of it is that, like you were saying, Jess, you're submitting to somebody who's submitting to God, which is way harder to submit to God. I mean, yes, we also submit to God as wives or as women, but to be answering to God directly as the man, that is huge. That is a huge responsibility. And then as the woman, as the wife, we're submitting to the man because we trust him, because we should be understanding that he wants what's best for us, and he's trying to provide and take care of us and love us as best he can. And as if he's seeking God, then we should be able to trust him enough to not put up a fight. Yes, we can have conversations about big decisions, but you know what? At the end of the day, if there's a strong no or a strong yes or whatever it is, it's like, you know what? Okay, because God gave me this man as my husband, so I'm going to trust him, and I trust God that he's going to guide us wherever we need to go.
also, I have nothing to comment about this, but I just like how the second verse of this is her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. I have nothing to comment on that. I just like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you're commenting on it, it's that we have worked so hard to be a trustworthy woman, that we are spending, I mean, for me, spending my singleness, preparing like myself and my heart to not be a gossiper, to not be flaky, to be a loving and trustworthy person. I think right after that, it talks about, it says, she does him good and not harm all the days of her life. And that makes me think, and I was listening to somebody else comment on this, that we're not bringing into our marriage complaints or holding the husband back, or we're not bringing in sinful baggage, and we're not bringing in manipulation. We are doing him good and not harm. And yes, like, both parties in a marriage are flawed human beings, but as hard as I can, like, for those ladies watching that are single, like, you have this time now to be preparing yourself to heal yourself of maybe traumas and break sin patterns and cleanse yourself with God's help as much as you can, so that in your marriage you are not bringing harm to your husband, you are bringing him good all the days of your life. And I think that's huge. Like, thinking, like, yeah, it's a high standard, but like, it's not something that you often think about. Like, you think, oh, my husband can take care of me, and like, I can be me fully, and he can just not coddle, but like, he'll take care of me and he'll love me no matter what I do and say, and all the stuff, which is ideally true, that he will love you no matter what, but it doesn't mean he should have to deal with all of your sin patterns and all of every baggage that you carry. Because I mean, yes, everybody has baggage, but you can lay that at the feet of the Lord, and you don't have to bring that into your marriage and let it affect your marriage and bring harm on your husband. So yeah, this is just a thought I was having of, like, God might have you in your single period to he has you one-on-one. You're not distracted by a man. He has you sitting down right now. It's just you and God, and he has the chance to heal you and strip you of all of the past mistakes, to strip you of all the sin that you're holding on to, the things of this world that you're not letting go of. He's working on you and on your maybe on your future husband too, so that when you guys do meet and you do get married, you are going into it clean and pure and with love and pure intentions, and you're not bringing harm to each other, you're bringing good to each other all the days of your life.
You know.
Well, God has so much to say, guys. Like, this is like, it's 21 verses of like, boom, boom, bam, bam, boom, bam, boom.
Pretty much. That's why I was like, are we gonna pause because there's just so much.
It's
Like
so much.
verse by verse, Proverbs verse by verse. I was talking with the kindergarten teacher at my school, and I was just like, she was talking about how she's going through Proverbs, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like you have to like pause every single one, pray about it, think about it, like what does this mean? How can I apply this to my life? Like Proverbs is just, it really is the wisdom book.
I love Proverbs.
It's amazing. My favorite book is Psalms. David felt things so deeply, and he was able to like, and it's not just David, but just you can look for anything in the Psalms and find it and learn how to apply it. And it helped me go from being in a mode of just like, oh yeah, God is there, to worshipful and like, wow, God is so amazing. Like he's just so good. Like he created all these things, or like he has power to save a whole entire nation or do these things. And also it was puzzling because there was lots of talking about how like, oh, praying for the death of his enemies. And I was like, what are you talking about? Why are we praying for the death of our enemies? But it was that he felt this way. He's giving it to God and he's letting it go. He's not going and saying, kill my enemies, kill them all. He's saying, Lord, this is how I feel. This is what's going on. And I'm going to leave it to you. You deal with it the way you want to deal with it. Because, I mean, and then also things like he struggled with the sin, like with Bathsheba. So just the lamentful things that he goes, like just, there's so much goodness, so much praise, so much lamenting, so much everything everywhere. And I love, there's just always something you need in Psalms. Even Jesus, Psalm 22. It was a vision about the future, about the Messiah, and it was about Jesus. Because the whole thing, why have you forsaken me? Jesus said that on the cross. But it says things like,
I love this.
oh yeah, I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax; it is melted within my breast. It keeps going, but that's just one verse where it's like, okay, when they cut him, water came out of him and not blood. And then his bones were out of joint, but they were never broken. And then it says, they have pierced my hands and feet. I can count all my bones. They stare and gloat over me. They divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. That was Jesus. That exact thing happened to him while he was on the cross. They they pierced his hands and feet. I don't know about the counting on the bones, but whatever. Probably just he could feel all of them in pain. They stare and gloat over me. They divided my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. The soldiers did that to him. So you can even get Jesus in Psalms. Sorry. Okay, now I'm done rambling. But it was
That's
No,
great.
that's good.
it's so good.
Wait, what's your favorite book of the Bible?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I have a favorite.
1, maybe 2. Go quick. 10, 9, 8.
No.
Biscuits and gravy.
Dude,
That's
what?
a difficult question.
What about you?
Okay, Galatians, Colossians, 2
Yours was
Corinthians,
Galatians is so good.
Titus,
James is so
James,
good. Titus is so good.
James?
Timothy's,
No, no, no.
Romans.
All of you are wrong.
What's yours?
Hebrews and James
Hebrews and James are also
are by
really
far
good.
the best 2 books of the Bible.
Hebrews is really
I
good.
just feel like the Psalms is so direct. Like, it's just instruction. It's easy to understand. So I like it.
It's also so like hopeful and heartbreaking at the same time.
I feel like the New Testament
Yes.
letters are so direct.
The
and
New
easy to
Testament
understand.
letters
That's
are
why I love
are
James and
golden.
Hebrews, because it's just like I read every verse and I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Conviction.
It's conviction. Oh, conviction.
More conviction.
Oh,
What is it?
conviction.
You guys
Yeah.
have raved about every single book of the Bible. I think the summary is the Bible is pretty cool.
I
And
do love the Bible.
Romans also really good.
Oh my gosh, Romans is
Very convincing. That's Sam's
Romans
favorite.
1:16.
so good.
That's my lifelong verse. For I am unashamed of the gospel of Christ, that through it all men might be saved. First the Jew and then to the Gentile. I love it. Bang.
Unashamed. There's a movie called Unashamed, and it's so good.
I
love that movie so much.
It's so good. Have you guys seen that?
dude?
Ah.
Dude.
Watch party.
Oh my gosh. Unashamed.
Go watch that movie, guys. It's really good.
It's so good.
Okay, so we're circling back. Proverbs 31 summary.
Oh brother. How do you summarize 31?
Her works, her character, her worth, and her husband. Yes.
The woman who fears the Lord. And that's their summary of what it is. It's just, this is what it looks like to fear the Lord, to be a biblical woman.
The fruits that come out of you when you are fearing the Lord are all of the things that Proverbs 31:10-31 talk about. So what I gleaned from reading Proverbs 31 is that her character consists of noble character. She's selfless. She's willing to work hard, and she does all of the time. Not like constantly all the time, but like she does it a lot. She's smart and strong, but she knows, in the end, she knows where her strength comes from, which is God. She is creative and she makes things. She works with her hands. She is unafraid and self-sufficient. She's prepared. She isn't defined by her appearance. She is wise and loving, and she is edifying and nurturing.
Good words.
Her works, she provides. She's gives out things. She's generous. She's gives out her money, things that people need. She's an entrepreneur even, because she buys and sells fields, apparently. She's a homemaker. And by all of those things, all of her character attributes, her works, it is all empowered by God. So she's receiving all of these beautiful blessings, and she has this as a part of who she is because God is within her. She will not fail. And then her worth, she is praised. She's given like so many praises at the end. It talks about how like her husband and her children rise up and call her blessed. And then it's in quotes. They say, "Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all." So she's receiving all of this praise, which I think so many of us could take praise and make that part of our worth. She receives all this praise, but she doesn't make that her worth or her identity, because in the end, her worth and her identity are from God. She finds her worth in who she is as a daughter of Christ. And then lastly, her husband. It talks about her husband in a few different verses. Like we already talked about, she brings her husband good, not harm. And it's kind of the sense of like behind every great man is a great woman, because we as the wife can build up our husband and support him so that he can go and then succeed and flourish and be that great man, because it talks about how her husband is known at the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. So he has this high position, and behind every great man is a great woman. And then the heart of her husband trusts in her. She's trustworthy, and he can confide in her.
Another good thing of biblical womanhood is that people can confide in us. Being trustworthy.
Which means we can't be confided in and then gossip that
That's
to
right.
somebody
Right.
else.
And if you are gossiping, then people are going to see that and go, maybe I don't want to talk to her, because maybe she's going to go and just tell other people all the things that I confided in her with.
Right.
So you want to be
And
a
that
vault of
Yeah.
secrets.
and that's like a real great way to not have deep relationships if people think that you're just going to spread their personal information.
When you are a biblical woman, people can confide in you and come to you for advice. There's a verse in here. It says, "She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue." So people do look to her because she has wisdom. The Proverbs 31 woman is the ideal woman. And as women, as Christian women, we can put so much pressure on ourselves. And it seems like there's such high standards we have to live up to. But as a Christian, Christianity is a journey. And so we're never expected to be perfect, because that's not possible. Jesus is perfect. He was the only one. God is perfect. He's the only one who's perfect. We are all fallen short of the glory of God. But it's a journey. We've grown so much since we became Christians in the beginning. We have learned so much. Our character has become higher and higher. We are becoming like Christ together. But it's not this thing of needing to put so much pressure on ourselves to achieve all of this. We need to give ourselves grace, because we're all growing in the Lord.
And that's that.
Thanks for joining us, fellow ladies of liberty. We hope you were encouraged. We hope you maybe learned something.
And we hope you laughed with us today.